Good day, listeners from around the world. This is James Jordan coming at you for another edition of the Wide World of Motorsports podcast, recorded for the week of March 14th, 2021, and simulcast on Radio Waterloo. Here we are with co-host Mike and just chilling here. It's good to be back again, recording here for the Wide World of Motorsports podcast. We're here with co-host Michael Wallace, and we're just chatting some of the things in the wide world, some of the things that have been happening, and we're gonna go at it here. We're gonna dive right into it.
I'm excited.
We were just chatting, just like that. There's a post on Facebook the other day on the F1 Facebook, and it was a cool. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's cool. Check it out. It's cinematic kind of like style of all the drivers. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, and also if we're talking about F1, did we do the Murray Walker?
Oh,
Can't forget about him. What a crazy influence over there with the F1 and with the commentary he's done. So, and not only that, Sabine Schmitz. So we're obviously thinking this week of some more of a more in Europe. Obviously, those people are more popular there, but definitely a big influence on the motorsports over in that side of the world. So thinking about that as we're talking about F1 and whatnot, and then boom, next thing you know, it's gonna come up. The March 26th, 28th weekend at Bahrain. Could be good to see some Formula One. So,
yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
They just wrapped up a 3-day test there. So, not the traditional starting place for Formula One, usually start in Australia, but that race has been postponed due to, our current situation.
Right.
Yeah, so they're going to Bahrain.
And not only that, today with the layout of the Jeddah, or Jeddah, the Jeddah.
The new Jeddah street circuit.
Cheddar cheese. Yeah, so that looks really cool. That layout, very unique layout.
Fastest street circuit.
It's very cool.
Is what they're claiming. So we'll see. It does look fast. I forget what I read for the average lap time or average lap speed, but it's well in the 200s. So it's fast.
The shape of it. Sometimes you get those squigglies in your eyes. Like sometimes, or like sometimes during the day, and then you kind of chase it. I feel like that's what the track looks like. It looks like one of those squigglies that you get in your eye. So.
Yeah, it does kind of. I'm interested.
I don't
It'll
know
be
how I
interesting
noticed
to
that.
watch.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and anything new, and anything just like that. That's cool, So good for society to, if we're at the point in mankind. In the human history where people kind or whatever, if you're at that point where it's like, wow, technology is at the point where it's so great, at least we're building cool racetracks.
Yeah.
At least we're,
That's true.
But yeah,
we'll see if it's cool.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if it's happens.
Cool. Yeah, we gotta see how the racing is on it.
But that's happening coming up. We got Sebring here.
Yeah, this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exciting. 12 hours. Action Express 31 car has been leading the time sheets, which is no surprise. But I guess the big thing, unique thing is the qualifying for GT Daytona or the GT3 cars. Have you heard about this?
No.
It's so they're trying to make qualifying more interesting is really what they're doing, and making it have a point. So they're splitting up it in two sections, 15-minute sections. And the first 15-minute section, that will be for qualifying order for the race. So what position you're going to start in for the race. And then the second 15 minutes is going to be for points. I think it starts at 15 points and filters down. I'm not really sure. I forget. The IMSA
points?
Changed up their whole I guess bonus points, yeah. So, but what that means is that if you don't run the first qualifying, you can't run the second qualifying for points. And you run the first qualifying and don't run the second qualifying, then your first qualifying, your starting position doesn't count, and you start from the back of the field. In a 12-hour race, that's not a big deal. And you also don't get points. So, if you're not going to, this is one of those, you're going to do both. Also, in the first 15 minutes of qualifying, it's going to be a silver or bronze rated driver. So more than likely, especially in GT Daytona, you're going to see more of the gentleman driver. And then with a mandatory driver change at places like Sebring or Petit Le Mans, you have more than 2 drivers. So you'll get to choose out of 2. But at all the other races, you only have the 2 drivers. So if you're running the silver or bronze driver, it's definitely going to be the pro running for points. So it's the first time they're doing it. They didn't do it at Daytona, so they're starting it here at Sebring. It'll be interesting to see.
So with points, so it's you can get your qualifying, but then you can run for points as well, or you have to choose one or the other.
No, you have to do both for both to count.
Yeah.
For either of them to count. So you can't run for position and not run for points, and you can't not run for position and run for points.
So that second 15-minute race is so you could finish wherever, but the bonus points, is that like the right mentality, is to think of it as bonus points or points?
Well, it's extra points.
Okay.
It's more points, right? So you get points for obviously winning the race. You get points for well, I guess it's only qualifying and so
it's like a 15-minute dash just for points.
Well, it's not a race. It's not a race. It's just another 15-minute qualifying. So whoever sets the fastest lap in the second 15 minutes, that'll be first for points, and then it'll work its way down. So it's 2 qualifyings.
Yeah.
And it's going to be
cool.
The amateur drivers that'll battle each other, and then it'll be all the pro drivers. Because what was happening was you'd see teams qualify, and then if they qualified bad, they just put on a new set of tires and start from the rear of the field. So I guess just to quickly explain it, that you have to start the race on whatever tires you set your fastest qualifying lap on, which will be the set of tires you set a qualifying lap on, because you can't come in and change tires anyway. So whatever you do qualifying in, you have to start the race in. And then some teams would just, like at a longer race, some teams would just opt out of qualifying.
Right.
Like even in the rain. So if it was it was the Daytona 24-hour and it was raining during qualifying, there would be a team that wouldn't even qualify. One, it's a 24-hour race, so if I start first or if I start 10th, it's really not going to make that big of a difference, especially if you're fast. But and then why would I risk wrecking the car? So they just wouldn't qualify. Well, that's not a very good show, right?
Mm-hmm.
IMSA wants cars on the track. That's how they attract fans. So this is an incentive to get out there and qualify
on the Friday.
No, they usually qualify on I guess for Sebring they qualify tomorrow, which would be Friday, and the 19th.
Friday the 19th, correct.
But at most races, qualifying happens on the Saturday. If the race is on the Sunday, you usually qualify the day before.
Right. So
kind of like Cup.
That'll be a good watch, I guess. That'll be good TV.
It will. It'll be exciting.
And the whole weekend will be, and we just figured out, Saturday 10 to 10.
Yep, 10 to 10. And then the last big news is that last time we did our podcast, we talked about Jimmy and the 48 Ally car racing the Michelin Endurance Round. So they're here at Sebring. And we talked about Chad Knaus being on the box. Well, I guess the pit crew wasn't fast enough for Mr.
That's
Knaus, and
awesome.
he's bringing in some NASCAR guys to help him with the pit stops
I think it's
this
pretty
weekend.
cool.
So, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, so I'm guessing they probably got the best of the best for the pit crew.
Yeah, I guess.
That would be.
I mean, it's not much different.
Yeah,
it's not much different. The big difference would be a single lug nut, but they got to get used to that anyways because Cup's going to single lug nuts.
And there's going to be. It's just the first of the three. There's three more of the Michelin Endurance Cup races this season for the Ally sponsored number 48, which finished second at the Rolly. So they're looking at they I would throw a name in there, and all-star lineup as well. You got Kobayashi there, and you got Simon Pagenaud, and I know obviously for a lot of IMSA fans, of course, it's like, oh well, talking about Jimmy, it's typical. He's making some moves this season. He's doing some different moves, I suppose. And there's probably a lot of media press, and that's typical. I get what it's like having other guys coming from other sports, and there being a lot of focus on that. But with that finish, at the Rolly, I mean, come on, you got to give him some. You got to give that number 48 Action Express some credit this weekend.
I think they're gonna do.
It's easy to talk about. It's easy. It's always reminding me of people going like, "Oh yeah, juniors are going to do good this weekend" or something like that. It's easy to say Jimmy's going to do good, but really, really though, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, it's bumpy there, and I don't know if Jimmy's driven there before, but yeah, it's going to be a good race. I'm really excited for it. And
they got a couple more races to see. They got Watkins, Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. So
yeah,
looking forward to more of them this weekend. But who else do you got here, quick for Sebring?
If I had to put money on it, I think the Whelen 31 Cadillac's going to win in prototypes. In GTLM. You can't count out the Corvettes. One of them's going to win this one. And then in GTD...
A couple new liveries on their end.
GTD, pick one. Because I really can't pick one that would win that race. That's a hard one.
Okay. Yeah, and I remember a couple weeks ago we we weren't sure. It was too far away to pick.
It's still like it sounds like I'm... copping out on that, but it is so hard to pick who's going to win that.
Well, in the GTD, throw out Faf in there. It's too easy.
Yeah, you can throw
too
them
easy
out.
too. Another easy name to throw out there, right? Sure. Yeah.
But no, they got a good chance. The Porsches do well at that track because it's so bumpy, right? So
we'll see. We'll see what happens. We're looking forward to that. It's going to be an action-packed weekend with racing. There's going to be a couple of NASCAR races in that time, too, so definitely try to keep our eye out as much as possible with those updates. But even just this past weekend, so at Phoenix, Austin Cindric, he got his second NASCAR Xfinity Series win just in the opening 5 races of the 2021 season. And he just beat out Ty Gibbs. He had a win in the ARCA on the Friday night, so it was looking good for him. And Cindric was fast. He had a good piece. It's a good piece this season, and it's easy for him because he has a ride next season in number 21 in the Cup Series. So he's just making it look too easy. And then there was some look at Penske going into Sunday. Maybe a Penske car would have taking that momentum. It's always easy to assume that of the Penske, but Martin Truex Jr. though surged into the lead on a late restart and got his first victory of the 2021 season. And he had a pretty big winless streak, 29 race winless streak. He snapped, and it was also his first Cup win at Phoenix. So good on him. So from going on to Phoenix and we're looking on to Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
And where they're going to take on some of the probably my favorite racing surface on the circuit. Denny Hamlin has been announced to have the Busch Pole Award, so he will be leading the field on Sunday, and Truex Jr. will be beside him. You'll have Logano and Brad Keselowski of Team Penske in the row behind him. Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Kevin Harvick, Christopher Bell, William Byron, and Ryan Blaney to round off the top 10. A couple of Fords in there. As we know, Kevin Harvick's good there. Wondering if Haas has some action. They have some action to perform at Atlanta. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going with Kevin.
Yeah, he won last year and has obviously been good in the past at Atlanta. So, again, going back, another easy name just to throw out there. But, there are 3 of the 4 Hendrick Motorsports cars. Alex Bowman, he's just in 14th. So, HMS might show up for Chevy there. But for the true. Stewart Haas Racing camp, not too many of those guys up front. They are just Kevin Harvick. He's going to be the lone wolf in the Stewart Haas camp. He will have a couple Fords to work with. But, Atlanta, good old racing surface, going to provide some good racing this weekend. And
I'm excited.
Last weekend, I wanted to get into some of the metrics quick on how NASCAR, they determine the grid. 25% drivers finishing position from the previous race. 25% of car owners finishing position from the previous race. 35% team owner points ranking, and 15% fastest lap from the previous race. So obviously a lot of performance, and even a little bit of touch of team performance as well plays a lot of effects. So
yeah,
maybe that's why we're not seeing Stewart Haas up there. But it'll be cool to see what happens there.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love Atlanta. That is a badass, fast racetrack, right? So old school, rough surface, slip and slided. Tires are probably good for about what?
Yeah,
5 laps, and
yeah.
then and then they're just there. So yeah, that would be a good one.
Absolutely. But yeah, no doubt, interesting what happens there, and see with obviously Larson, he did good, and maybe we'll see another Joe Gibbs guy come up. Maybe Truex will do good again. See some momentum come off. But so far we've seen a bunch of different winners in all the series. So I think
5 different winners, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think it'll continue the trend of a different winner. Even though we haven't seen Harvick win or anything like that, but he won a few races last season. But he's going to be up there for sure.
Yeah.
But there's also lots of other talk too about the dirt race. There's a lot of stuff surrounding that coming up. Lots of talk about the dirt, and there's a lot of stuff going on, and that's going to be just in a couple of weeks at the end of March there, and lots of stuff. So just to begin, personally, I've seen there's been a lot of racing with the Bristol Dirt Nationals and stuff, and there's been a lot of stuff going on through the week, and we've actually seen some pictures of what the track looks like. And there is a line around the track of the actual, Bristol, like underneath the dirt. It's coming out, man. Those cars were digging it up. And so wondering how that's going to go. And it's easy to assume right now that the Cup cars are just going to just dig up the dirt.
You think so?
And that's if the Xfinity and trucks don't already, what's that giving the Cup guys? So it's going to be interesting to see. And I think originally it was such a cool idea, but I think it would be Bruton Smith probably behind something like this. And obviously we know he's crazy for ideas. So
who is it that runs Bristol now? It's his son that runs Bristol now. I can't remember what his son's name is, but
Marcus
is
the president, chief operating officer, and director Speedway Motorsports Inc. and general manager of SMI. So that was probably, you know how they are with ideas. And that was probably one of those things that was just thrown in and, hey, let's do this. And, I'm sure there's some planning, but I feel like, we're gonna find out the answer for sure in a couple of weeks. But I think it's gonna be, what were they thinking?
No, it's gonna be awesome. I think they'll be fine. They're gonna fix the track.
Fix it up.
They're gonna
just like that.
Oh, of course.
Just like iRacing.
Oh,
Life is an iRacing, Michael.
No, it's gonna take some time to fix it for sure. But they'll fix it. They'll get it going. They'll get it good, and then they'll go, between the Cup race and the Xfinity race, and they'll fix the track up. So it's all good to go.
So I'm going to anticipate it being a pretty long. There's going to be some red flags on the Sunday for sure, and it's probably going to go into the day. Like, it'll be, whatever program is programmed after in your TV guide ain't going to be on TV. It's or something.
Do you think they do that? I think they'll just let them race.
Well, if they're going to have to stop the race every stage, then it's going to take the whole day. We're going to see the lights on. We're not going to be racing our league race Sunday night, Michael.
No, I'll be racing.
Gonna say screw it because they can't get their stuff together. Hey, you know what?
No,
I don't
know.
I thought it was such a cool idea, and I still think it is. But I think I always, in the back of my mind, I was like, a lot of people are getting, like, they're really setting their standards. I don't know, to the point where they're gonna set it and they're gonna get, like, disappointed.
What do you mean?
They're really expecting. I think people are really expecting. And then we have all this idea in our heads. This is going to be great. And then it's going to end up like, we're going to end up being like, this was a bad idea. That's what I think.
No, I think you're not giving NASCAR enough credit. I think you're not giving NASCAR enough credit.
You know what? I'll give them credit for sure. For right now. Absolutely.
I think they'll,
I'll give them
I think they know
right now.
I think they know what they're getting into, and I think they have it sorted out. And it's going to be good. I mean, just look at the drivers who are double, triple dutying, who are going.
Yeah, let's get into that here. Yeah.
We seeing Kyle Larson. He's doing dirt late models for Kyle Larson Racing, and he's doing the truck race.
Do you think with him the term dirt ringer would be appropriate? Because there are some actual dirt ringers in there. Like, should I throw in Stuart Friesen's wife, maybe, or Stuart Friesen running in the Cup race as a dirt ringer? But Kyle Larson, though, obviously he's versatile. He's good everywhere, basically. But do you think that? Because I've seen him, I think even on his Twitter or on Facebook or an NASCAR NBC or something like that, like they've put that in the caption. Is he are we going to hear him being considered a dirt ringer? Or is that the right use of the term?
I think he's just a ringer.
Yeah.
I think Kyle, I really feel like Kyle could win an IndyCar. I think he's that type of driver. Like, I feel like he's a Tony Stewart almost. I don't know how he would do on the road courses in IndyCar, but I actually think he would do really good. I think he would kill it on the ovals with his, wing sprint car, practice and wins. Like, I think he would do really well. Dirt ringer for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you can use a ringer in the general sense with him.
Well, for the super late model division, Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, and Chase Elliott, they're entered for that, and they will run full shows on Friday and Saturday and headline the Bristol Dirt Nationals. So that will pay $50,000 to win on Saturday's 60-lap feature. So that's going to be real cool to see. Larson will also compete, and as we said, in the Truck Series in Bristol. He'll drive the number 44 for Nice Motorsports. Austin Dillon, Corey LaJoie, and Chris Buescher. They'll drive in the 604 late model division as well. Dillon, he actually won the division's feature Tuesday night. LaJoie was 6th, starting 20th in the 27-car field. Joey Logano, he'll compete in an open modified division division race this week, along with Camping World Truck Series driver Matt Crafton. And other Cup drivers are preparing in different ways. Brad Keselowski, he drove a crate late model last Friday in Cochran Motor Speedway in Cochran, Georgia. Kevin Harvick, Chase Briscoe, Newman, Wallace, Truex Jr., not you, Bubba Wallace, and then Truex Jr., they'll compete in the truck race to prepare for the Cup race. And Truex, it's actually his first truck race since 2006. There's a lot of drivers that are big Cup drivers that haven't even touched the trucks from back in the day. Kind of be like if Jimmy Johnson did something like that or whatever. But I think that's really cool. Going to see Truex back in the trucks. There are, Arik Almora, he said he's done some testing in Dirt Modified. Blaney, he's taking a bit of a different approach. He said he's just going to do whatever the sim stuff is from Ford. So that'll be, and he'll be watching a lot of the racing on the Friday. You like that, don't you?
Yeah.
And then Eric Jones.
It's funny because, you'd think he'd be doing it some sort of race because of his dad.
Yeah,
but
right. Yeah.
Then again, think about it and go, because of his dad, he probably doesn't need to do anything else. He's going to get in the Cup car and be,
screw you, Dad.
Fire.
I don't want to be like you. No. Eric Jones, he plans to test in a microcar as well. So, lot of cool stuff going on with the preparation for Dirt. I think it's really neat with kind of that dynamic that's going to come behind with all that's going to happen, even on a broadcasting side, on a spotter side, and even on a fan side. So we're going to see what's all going to happen, and that's just in a couple of weeks. So in the world of NASCAR, we've for sure got that covered here on the Wide World of Motorsports. And I don't even know who to pick for that. We're going to see closer coming up to that next weekend.
Kyle Larson or Christopher Bell wins that race.
Some early calls. Yeah, those are some safe bets. We're going to see how everything goes.
Yeah. We'll see. Let's see what practice has to bring.
You know what? Hey, that wraps it for this edition of the Wide World of Motorsports podcast. Be sure to check us out on social media at the WWOMS. Sweet. Adios.
Remember when I told all my drivers, reach up there and pull those belts tight one more time? Drivers, start your engine!
The pits here for the Mayhem Racing League podcast. We just had a couple of awesome races tonight. One at Pocono and the other at Concord.
The triangles definitely played a role tonight. Bermuda Triangle in effect, I guess.
They definitely did what they're supposed to do.
Well,
fall off guard.
Well, normally used to 4 corners, so you got to fit all that chaos into 3 corners. Makes it work.
That's right.
Yeah. I think Concord was a lot more better for me than the first one. Well, not the end there.
Which race had more cautions?
That's a good question.
Concord.
I would definitely say Concord.
We bounced off the walls like.
Did the Kia race go to green, white, checkered, or did it finish official?
I believe it was
official.
official.
It was official.
But the Concord was GWC, right?
Yes.
Sir. Yeah.
And then Jesse got that props on that one.
Thank you.
Hey Jesse, where did you start there on the green, white, checkered?
For third. Yeah, I was right behind Sean on that last one, which was like the perfect spot to be. So
inside or outside?
Inside.
Okay, inside.
Yep. Because every restart before that, I was just looking at the lap traffic, making jokes, everything, and was just sleeping at every restart. And I was like, all right, not on this one. so I made sure I was close.
Yeah, there was one of the restarts where we started, I think, in the backstretch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, really. I was surprised he didn't get a black for that, because I've jumped to green halfway through 3 on that track before and got the black flag, even though I was the leader.
Oh man.
But yeah, lots of emotions tonight, and it's good to have everyone in here, and we're all happy. So
Yeah, we all move on to the next one that happens in racing, obviously, now and again, and it's just part of the game. And
where's Sean at?
The racing game. He should be in here soon.
Oh yeah,
I believe.
So let's begin off just looking through the series so far this season. We have 4 series total so far, and we got some more coming up. And there's been some talk about some stuff, and there is a new event that's coming up that we have a new sponsor on board. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the All-Star event is going to be coming up, and that's going to be part of the Mazda Miata Mayhem race. It's a mid-season break we got coming up. It's going to be on next Tuesday. We came on board. We have a great sponsor involved in that one. I'm bringing a flyer up here. It's going to be a mystery track. We're not going to name where it's going to be yet. You'll find out Tuesday night during the Kia race. But it's going to be a 100-lap event with a Volkswagen Beetle. And that event will be sponsored by Carbon Construction, which is part of Michael Wallace's company and business. He'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second. And also, Carbon Construction and Michael Wallace have put up a purse for the race. It's going to be a $20 total purse coming up. It'll be $10 to the race winner, $5 whoever has the hard luck, which that was tonight, could have been any of us, and right, and a $5 random draw. And the way the random draw will work will be whoever we have in the starting grid. We'll do, once we get started in the race there, I'll do an online, or maybe I'll do it after the race, film it or something, just one of those online generators. We'll put everybody in, assign them your race grid number, and we'll do a random draw, and whoever gets a random draw will win $5. And all 3 prizes will go to different people. So it'd be 3 different people, $20 cash prize, mystery track, 100-lap event, Volkswagen Beetle. The only hint I'll give you is it will be on an oval and it will be asphalt.
Sweet. That's
Sounds
awesome.
fun.
Start running the bugs.
Yeah,
So it's an all-wheel drive car. So get used to the handling. It is a little bit different coming through turns and handling it, and it will require pit stops and all different kinds of crazy stuff going on.
Sweet.
And we'll have heat races as well. Sorry to interrupt. Heat races as well. That's at the grid. Be short heats, probably, depending on the track we pick and we use, probably 5 to 8 laps for a heat race, quick heat race.
Jam-packed action, all that, plus what we normally do for the All-Star race like we did last time, prizes, stuff like that. I'm sure we'll get some beef jerky out of it and things like that, too. So,
oh, yeah.
Race hard and show up and race for a little bit of cash this time, too.
Yes, Mike Wallace, if you want to jump in and talk about Carbon Construction a little bit. As well as some of your ideas on the race as well when you and I kind of put it together.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. Carbon Construction is just my construction company that I have in where I live, obviously. It's a building renovation company. Nothing huge, nothing big. I just wanted to put a name on it, but I really just wanted to give back to the league. And I see a lot of guys doing different stuff. Marshall's on board, Dave's on board with Club Jerky and HH. Thank you. Sorry, that's really bad. But and of course Charlie doing the magazine and the stuff that you do to help run the league. Just kind of a way to give back to the series and say thanks, and it might make it a little more fun. I don't know.
Absolutely. So I can say some as a fellow sponsor, quote unquote, like every little bit helps. I see every day how much Seth puts into it, and it's absolutely crazy and amazing what he takes on.
Of course. Yeah,
every little bit helps, man. We appreciate it, and I know the guys do too.
Yeah. So, anyways, I just felt like doing it. Nobody made me do it, and just hopefully make the event maybe a little bit more special.
Yeah, and the All-Star race will be. We brought that into play second season of Street Stocks, right? And it was a great idea, and we ran some Cadillacs and just something different, and it was a fun event, and I kind of want to keep that going. It's a good break in the season in case you miss a race, you can't make it, or you want a week off. But as well, we can run the All-Star races, and it's kind of something different to break it up and keep it interesting and give us at least one week break from the stress and the pressure of running for points. I guess nights like tonight, it's a good break coming up next week, and maybe we'll have a little carryover in 2 weeks from now when we get back to these Kia race and the Mazda race.
Yeah, for sure.
Really looking forward to it. Thanks for coming on, Mike. That's awesome.
Yeah, no problem. My pleasure.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to that too, for sure, coming up. And I'll race anything.
Yeah, and I just want to plug real quick too. I come up with an idea. We're going to run an enduro event. That'll be next Sunday before the ARCA race. It's going to start at 7 p.m. This is kind of a test session for an enduro. Everybody in the league's welcome to run it. Stepping back one step, it just sparked my memory here. In order to run the All-Star race to qualify for the personal, you got to have run at least one Mazda race this season to qualify for any prizes in that. But the enduro's open to everybody. Anybody can run. It's going to be a fun dirt track. We're running the Volkswagen Jetta TDI car, front wheel drive on the dirt, 50 lap race. We might run a little bit more. We might have a couple of heats beforehand. It's going to be kind of a smash to pass enduro event like you see at your local tracks. We're asking if you guys run it to do a spray paint job on your vehicle to kind of make it look like the guys that bring the spray paint cars with the paint running down the sides. So we're looking for something fun. Paint it up however you want it. Use the spray paint tool if you need help. Send me a message. I can help you paint up a car, get a design for you. And it's just going to be a let off some steam. Go out there and bang these cars up and run for the win. Maybe we'll throw something together for a little prize quick too.
As an oval track guy, can I do duct tape? Because I'm well versed in duct tape.
Absolutely. If you can find it online and you want to do it, that would be cool. Tape the panels in, or maybe put some chains on it or something, whatever, like the real enduros have.
That's funny. Cool. That's funny you said that, Dave. I was actually looking for a font for Photoshop for a duct tape texture for the number.
That would be epic.
Yeah, just fun. Paint it up any way you want. Yeah, paint it up any way you want for fun, and just whatever. Make it a. We're trying to make it look like it is a local, every day down the road dirt track, having one of those fun nights where everybody tows in their jalopies and races them like crazy. And if that goes successful, we might open this up and try to make it a real big event down the road, and maybe do some sort of a fundraiser with it, maybe, or something, where a couple bucks or something, and we'll have a payout, and the rest will go towards the league for some trophies and prizes and stuff like that.
Oh, that'd be cool. I'd be down for something like that for sure.
That'll be Sunday night at 7.
Now let's take a look at tonight, though. There's a couple races. The Kia Chaos Cup, there's only 6 races this season. So when we went to Pocono tonight, it was the second race of the season, and that was some real fun. And Sean Langton, who won that race, I believe, Sean, if I'm not mistaken, or is that Mike that just hopped in? That's Mike, isn't it? Never mind.
Yeah, Mike jumped in.
Wanted to interview with the race winner, but nope. But still, that was cool. And taking a look at the championship standings for so far, Sean Langton is at 119 points. Seth French, 105. Greg Abney, 93 for the top 3 there. So we're going to be heading on to USA International USA International for the 23rd of March. So that'll be cool. Excited to the Kia. You know what? I think the Kia really hit it off, guys.
Yeah, definitely something different. Sorry to interrupt there. Definitely something different from what the league is used to, and it's a good challenge, I think. And some of the tracks, Pocono, I like. Pocono is one of those love-hate relationships. Tough to get around, but I enjoy the challenge of it.
Don't forget the Kias for the slightly open setups, man. I mean, it's a little interesting to kind of dilly-dally around with it a little bit.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to add real quick here is the other, not to jump series or anything, but the All-Star race we're running in Mazda, that is actually a points race that will count towards the Mayhem All-Star Special Events races in 2021. Oh, cool. So that race is entered in there, and if you guys try to cheat and go in there and look right now, it says track is Centripetal Circuit, which it will not be. Going to try to hide it while we're racing out, and I'll change it when we get closer. So you can't beat the system here, but so that's why it's open to anybody in the league who wants to run. That's a whole different point standings. We ran the Cup cars, I believe, for Daytona in that series already once. This will be race number 2, so you are open to run it for points. You just won't be available for any prizes or cash prizes if you haven't run the Mazda race previously or been a Mazda participant.
Yeah, and speaking of the Mazdas tonight, and when we headed to Concord, where I didn't see too many tempers boil over as I had predicted, but it was quite the fun run at the end there. But Jesse Elliott, Sean Langton coming together almost at the end, but they kept it clean. Jesse Elliott had the better of Sean at the end of the race there, so that was real cool to see on the replay there. However, Sean Langton is in first in the standings at 753 points. Brandon Urin is at 731, and Mike Durfee at 644. And Seth is actually just a point down from it at 643, so close for third there. But not even halfway through the season. Lots of season to go for the Mazdas.
Lots of meat left on that bone.
Absolutely. Charlotte coming up.
9 more races in that season.
Charlotte coming up. The Roval, which in the past for some of us has been good and bad. I guess it's like almost every race in the Mazdas, but looking forward to that.
Bus tickets ready.
Yeah, and then there was some more talk though. Actually, there was I was hoping to have a town hall with some of the Mayhem Racing League members tonight. We're talking about some of the nights that we could run the SS series, the street stocks. So I believe there was a lot of votes for, it was Thursday night. The last time I checked, the most votes was for then. I think it was like 13 members.
Yeah, we're working on a lot of scheduling and organization stuff. Obviously, running everything we do, it's kind of hectic, and Seth takes on a crap ton of it. So we're doing tonight to kind of try and make his life a little easier. And obviously, it's going to help with recruitment and keeping everyone in line, so that way the numbers are as good as they were tonight, which were epic.
Yeah, Street Stock's definitely coming back and going to survive in the league. It's kind of our filler league for the other ones. I think it's a real good series to keep running. We've got the schedules almost organized and done, and we're going to start that season in probably 2, maybe 3 weeks from now. I want to run a couple recruitment races, try to get just a couple new guys, and really get that league, or that series, I should say, pumped up and really doing well. It's been one of the really fun series we've run in the league.
I feel like it's kind of like the meat and potatoes of the league, and not only that, it's a good. And it's some of the ways it's a good series to start off with, and maybe you work your way up to some of the other series in the league.
Yeah, it's a little bit of the Days of Thunder of the league.
Yeah, it's definitely what it's there for, is to be that stepping stone, and everyone's kind of fall back. Obviously run it for fun, but run it for the points and bring people in, so that way we know they're running up to our level at least.
Yeah, definitely can get a good feel, especially for some of the original members in the league, can kind of get a good feel of some of the fresh meat.
Absolutely, which not to cut that convo short or anything, but brings me to the conversation thing about recruitment, podcasts and things like this, and everyone sharing it. I just think if we all step it up, we can get some really good talent in here, and I don't know, maybe one day beat Brennan.
Yeah, there's, and I think we already have, but in some ways, not in the necessarily numbers, but yeah, absolutely. And there was some talk earlier tonight, actually. Marshall brought up a good point, and it would be cool if everyone were to, if people do stream, post your links, and then that way maybe on the Facebook page we can arrange just everyone's links together and really share each other's stuff, because it is interesting seeing the point of view from other drivers during the race.
Yeah, man, I love watching all the live streams after, usually in the morning when I'm trying to wake up.
I know, also talking about the streaming thing, there is a website where you could pull up multiple people's streams. So you could, if someone wanted to actually like call a race and have like 8, I think you do up to 8 streams on one screen, and then stream your screen, that'd be kind of cool.
Cool.
Yeah, we talked about doing that and doing some post-race, maybe the next day, get together a night with a couple different people and trying our hand at broadcasting. So maybe we'll look into that. That'll be a good way to start it and give it a shot.
For sure.
I got one quick point I got to make here. I'm looking at the end results of the Mazda race at Concord, and I got to ask Marshall how he did this, because he ran that entire race and had 0 incident points. And that is amazing.
Wow.
I think Marshall dipped out. But
and he ran 80 laps. He stayed on the lead lap and had 0 incident points. And I want to know what he was doing.
Man,
did he have a cheat turned on or something?
I was going to say, that's better than a traction cheat right there.
That should be like a win or something.
He may have got lucky a lot of times. There was a lot of crap he avoided. I saw, at least in my mirror.
And he's top 5. It wasn't like he was just hanging out in the back, 20 car lengths back trying to avoid the wrecks. He was legit in the mix. And 0.0 incidents. That's impressive.
Yeah, good for him. That's awesome.
Have a program.
Mr. Clean.
So yeah, we got a lot of fun stuff coming up, and everybody's welcome to throw any ideas out or any things they think will improve or should be fun or could be fun or whatever. Obviously, just throw out whatever at any point, post it up online or send us a message or just let us know. We're always open to any ideas, and we're open to taking ideas, and we're not here to kind of dictate or kind of decide what's best for everybody. So this is a group effort. So let us know and throw it out there.
Yeah, we're definitely not trying to just run what we want or anything like that. It's about everyone in the league and getting better and that competition level increasing week in, week out. We can't do that without feedback for sure.
I just wish I could make more of these races. This is my first Mazda race this season and first Kia race too. Just schedule is just slammed, but I like the setup the way you guys have it now. I did like the doubleheader street stock and ARCA. That was fun on Sundays.
Yeah, I think Sundays, once we get into nicer weather, it's going to be a little bit tougher to have those early races on Sunday as well.
Yeah, plus the actual cup racing and stuff like that. So
yeah,
definitely, I'm good with
getting close. Too. Even just cutting it close, sometimes it's really it was real close the last couple of weeks. It seems like so, especially depending on what time zone they're in. But yeah, so hopefully we could, because that'd be really cool to get some fresh faces out, some recruitment races coming up. Not sure what nights would work for people, but it'd be cool to figure something out. And I don't know, something. What would you guys think would be a good track for a recruitment race in the street stocks?
Oh, great question.
Charlotte, probably hands down.
Yeah, everybody's got it and runs it like crazy and jumps in those.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think any big track is going to invite people, be a real big attraction.
I remember back when I hosted a practice session for the Cadillacs when we were in those, like, it got full. It almost completely got full in no time, and I was quite surprised, honestly, especially with a car like the Cadillac.
I thought we had a pretty good time at Daytona in those street stocks too. That was a nice surprise.
Yeah, that's on the schedule for next season again. Yeah, that'll be on the schedule next season, Daytona.
Yeah, you can go real long too. You can test someone's endurance doing something like Daytona. Would a short track or maybe a road course also kind of separate the boys from the men, so to say?
I don't know, because we don't run that many road courses for the streets. Or I mean, it might, but
I think there might be 2 on the next season.
That sounds like a good round number.
Yeah, just a number thrown out there. So
2 sounds good. 0 sounds good.
Negative ones.
Ever want to see one again?
Seth, you had talked about coming into this towards the summer season where the Sunday nights might be harder to run stuff. Might be fun to do a little summer series, short track series kind of thing. The car to be determined, but that might be a fun thing.
Those super lates are looking cool, but I don't want to buy too much stuff.
Yeah, I got way too many cars now. I got one of everything almost in my garage. So, but I was looking at thinking up some ideas. I saw something. I was online today. It was Nitro Circus released a new league, and they're doing a tic-tac-toe, and it's kind of neat. They got basically like almost. I was thinking like doing like a bingo thing or something where if we had a board set up of some sort in every race, we have some special categories, and if it's something like it's got to be something like you can't control yourself. Maybe if you get like positions or something, you could kind of have that playing out throughout the season. A first person to score a board or something wins a prize or does something like that. Just something neat and extra to throw in there.
Definitely sounds like something we could play with and bring some light to. I read that thing you blasted out to me earlier, the rules and everything, qualifications, and it seemed legit and interesting.
Yeah, it's a pretty new and neat idea, something different to bring in. So we'll look at anything. Like I said, we got a couple more street stock we plan that'll be coming up. We still got ARCA going on. That's a great series that's kind of unfolding as you race each week. We're five races deep into that one, and that's a long 18 race schedule. So it's a lot of time to go with that one. And there's a lot of good tracks coming up in there as well. Like we got Bristol coming up next, Michigan. There's some real good tracks.
Yep. Looking forward to Bristol and the ARCAs. this Sunday. We're going for 100 laps.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one, definitely, with some pit stops involved, some race strategy with tires. We're going to start doing
practice those pit entries and pit exits.
Yeah, and the way we're going to move forward with ARCA too, and we talked about it, and we just turned it on for the last race at Pocono, is going to be limited sets of tires. So you'll have to kind of manage your tires a little bit and manage maybe your last pit stop to see if you can get new tires on to make some room. I tried at Pocono to stay out for my last caution, never got the caution, but I wanted to try to get a fresh set late and see if it make a difference under caution. So some more strategy will come into play with pits in ARCA as well.
And I have a question for people here. Sorry to cut you off there, but so do you guys think there should be one more fast repair, or is one good enough?
I think 0. We should go to 0 for sure.
That'd be
0. I run a league right now with 0, and it's very frustrating when like there's a big pile up and you just can't avoid it. So maybe 1, I think, is like max, because if like you're getting into an accident, it's just not your fault and it just ruins your whole night. It's kind of tough. But if you have that 1, like that's it. Like you better drive clean the rest of the race.
Yeah, I mean, I think 1 in the name of sim racing, it'd be cool if like you could observe and then hand them out, accordingly. Like, oh yeah, there's not your fault completely, or you got turned.
Oh yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But you don't think you could do that, but that would be super awesome.
That'd be super cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think having 0 would bring realism to it. I agree with you that at times you're not at fault, but I also see sometimes you do. At least I do. You think about it, you got it in your back pocket. Not that you try something crazy, but
right.
A little bit safer knowing you have one.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think 1's the better fit, just because if you got a wreck early and you get 6-7 guys tied up in it and they're going to drop out of the race and you only got 12 guys that week,
right.
You could have 60 laps left of 6 guys running around circles with nobody else on the track to come back out.
The only thing I think the issue with having the 1 free repair, like I totally get the idea of getting screwed over and getting out, but the amount of times you see somebody take somebody else out, get a fast repair, get back in the race, and then, or you've been involved in a wreck and then you've watched somebody else take somebody out and then they take you out and you're euchred because you have no fast repair, and the guy who caused 2 wrecks goes on and finishes in 2nd place.
Yeah, that is the yes part of it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something we can work out, where if you're the one that causes, or maybe it's something we can work out where if you cause a wreck type of thing, you got to stay put and go a lap down or something. If you cause a wreck that's going to take somebody else out, you have a fast repair. Maybe that'll level the playing field or something.
And I also think if we ran like a bigger race, if we were running 100, 150 laps with 0 fast repairs, I think everyone would be a little bit more cautious in the beginning, and we wouldn't need that fast repair.
Maybe some EOLs would slow some people down too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think EOLs do much because we're still, like, tonight was a great turnout, 17 cars, but on a track like Concord, you get EOL'd, or you're going to get EOL'd. You go into the pits, you get new tires, you come out, and now the EOL didn't do anything.
Yeah,
right? But I get it. It's not an easy thing to figure out. There's pros and cons to each situation.
For sure.
Yeah,
but nothing though.
I think if they have 0, there's nothing to figure out.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
I understand the 0. I like the idea and all, but even like just an example, tonight on my Kia race in Concord combined, I was not blaming anybody by any means, but I was taken out 4 different times none of those were my fault at all. And I had a quick car at both tracks and wound up.
Yeah. Exactly.
Unfortunately, didn't have great finishes when I finished 3rd in the Pocono race by making a run late in the race there when I came back out. But just, it happens, and you can get wrecked 3-4 times, and it's just nature of the beast, I guess.
Yeah. You got to be careful with the end of line stuff, because now you got people in the race making judgment calls on other people in the race. And it's real easy to get caught up, because sometimes you look at the incident, but the incident starts, half a straightaway back.
Yeah.
There's times, especially like at Lanier, I'll have a guy because I'll brake early to turn in, and I'll have somebody come fly around the inside, cut down, then they get loose or tight and check up, and I hit them because I rolled the middle of the corner, and it's like, boom, black flag, you hit somebody. I'm like, but I didn't do anything wrong, you know?
Yeah.
So you got to be careful of that, or you spend all your time playing referee.
I'll tell you what, no fast repairs will create some really good rivalries.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It'll do
But
that.
but maybe we try it with something like maybe, you know, I was talking about doing the endurance thing or a sprint endurance thing. Maybe we try it one place. Like it doesn't, every decision that gets made doesn't have to be a blanket, you know, series wide edition, right? It can be, well, we're going to try it over here and see how it fits. And you know, I don't know.
I'm open to those rivalries creating. I need somebody I can run off the track now and again. I don't have anybody right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can also do it by track size. You know, you can just be in Charlotte and say you don't get a fast repair, and at
That's true.
Concord or Bristol you get one. It's going to happen. You know that, right? So
Yeah.
give it by how much space there is on track. You know, I'm sorry, Charlotte's a big track. If you really plow into somebody at Charlotte or whatever, you deserve it. I mean, there's plenty of room there. But, you know, sometimes Concord and USA and some of these shorter tracks, you just don't have anywhere to go sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. I like Dave makes a great point there.
All right, real quick here to wrap things up, just name me quick. This Sunday, I believe we're going to have a special movie paint scheme night. So just shout out one by one here. What do you guys got on the docket here as we wrap up the show?
Bob Ross, baby.
Arca?
Yeah, the idea was for Arca to run a movie night.
Movie night, yes.
Running a custom Bob Ross paint scheme with my paint of my face in it. That'll be epic.
Nice.
I didn't know it was a movie, but okay, yeah.
It's gonna be a movie.
Maybe a TV show.
So
We're here to bend the rules, fellas.
I may run something from Cannonball Run. We'll see.
Nice. I was thinking Death Proof, the Quentin Tarantino movie there.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I came up with an idea, and I'd have to run it by you, Seth, but Greg and Marshall were talking about having 3 numbers, and I thought maybe I'd paint the car up like James Bond, one of the James Bond cars, and run 007 for the night.
Oh, yeah, we could change your number for the league night so it pops up, definitely.
That'd be cool to see.
Let's see if I can find a DeLorean.
Oh, nice.
Or just
Man,
paint and then keep your real number.
Yeah,
That's what I was just thinking too.
or-
Back to the Future.
Or the Ghostbuster mobile there.
Nice.
Oh, Ecto one. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
No, man, the Studebaker from the Muppet movie.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mine's a secret.
As if my my complete addiction to paint wasn't bad enough. You gotta have this. Right?
That could have went a completely different way. That was like right there where that was going.
Well, I'll be looking forward to seeing it, guys, and we'll see you around the bend.
Talk
man.
to you soon, buddy.
Have a
We
good night.
appreciate you.
Later.
Have a good night, Dave.
Be sure to check out the Mayhem Racing League on Facebook and iRacing, as well as the Wide World of Motorsports on social media.
Hi, this is Alex Tagliani, NASCAR Pinty Series driver. You're tuned in from the track to the community on Wide World of Motorsports, the #1 motorsport show in the community. Sports show in the community. Sports show in the community.